Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Online Phone Spoken English Classes and Business Communication and IELTS Training. As the name suggests, I do impart training on spoken English, business communication, IELTS and writing skills. All my classes are completely online and I have shared my email ID. In case you have any query regarding the classes, you can directly write to me. Well, today's lesson is an interesting lesson on intermediate level vocabulary. I have chosen really some good words which you can confidently use at your office, in meetings, in a presentation, while appearing for an interview. Okay, or you can also use this when you speak to your friends and colleagues. So without further ado, let's begin the lesson. The first word is affable. Affable is an adjective. We generally use this word to describe a person's behavior or their nature. So affable means a person who is extremely friendly, warm, good-natured person, somebody who is an absolute pleasure to talk to. For example, the new CEO is an affable and a humble person. I'm sure all his employees will like him a lot. Another example, his grandmother is an affable. Our next word is agile. Agile is also an adjective. Agile means being flexible, when you can move your body very conveniently, easily and quickly, or when you are able to think very quickly and clearly. Then you can say that he or she has an agile mind. For example, he is fit and agile. That means his body is quite fit and he can move it very easily and conveniently. He is quite flexible. Another sentence, he takes every decision quickly. I'm sure he has an agile mind. Because he has an agile mind, that means he has a mind which helps him to think very quickly and clearly. He can take his decision very well. Let's move to the next word. Our next word is annoying. Annoying is an adjective. Annoying means anything that makes you angry or feel irritated. For example, he has an annoying habit of interrupting in between when someone talks. That means he has the habit of interrupting someone or stopping someone in between when they are talking. So this habit of his makes other people feel very angry. So instead of angry, you can say this habit of his is quite annoying. Another example, he has an annoying ringtone. That means his ringtone is quite annoying. It disturbs me or it is quite disgusting. It always irritates me. Let's move to the next word. Bemused. This is our next word. Bemused too is an adjective. Well, bemused means when you have confusion or when you feel puzzled. Whenever you have confusion over something, you can use the word bemused in that situation. Some examples, I was bemused in the interview, still I could answer some of the questions. Another example, the child gave bemused look to his mother. That means the child gave a confusing look to his mother. Maybe he was in deep confusion, he could not understand anything. So he gave a look which was completely puzzling and confusing. Let's quickly move to the next word. Our next word that we are going to learn is competent. Well, competent means a person who has the required capacity and skill to do a work or any particular kind of job. Some examples that I have made are, number one, he is the most competent manager in our organization. That means this manager has the required skill and the capacity, the ability to do that particular job, and that makes him the most competent person or the capable person. Another sentence, I don't find her competent at all. She lacks the required ability to do that job. That means she doesn't have that required ability, that skill, needed to do that work, and hence she is an incompetent person. Incompetent is the opposite of competent. Let's move to the next word quickly. Our next word, well, before that I'll ask you a question. What do you call a person who has a lot of desire or eagerness to learn something? Well, we call that person as a curious person. A curious person will always have a lot of desire and eagerness to know something or to learn something new. Generally, children are very curious, isn't it? They always have that huge desire, to know anything that they see, because everything is new for them, and therefore they become too curious that what is that, what is this. They keep asking this question to their mother or to their father or anybody in the family. So one sentence or two sentences that I have made. The first one is, her neighbors are always curious about her personal life. That means her neighbors are always too much interested. They have too much desire to know what she is doing in her own life. Another sentence. As a child, he was too curious and asked many questions. That means when he was a child, he was too curious. He was too keen, had too many desires to know about the things in his surroundings. So that made him a curious child. Okay, let's move to the next word. We are going to learn another word, that is diligent. Diligent, of course, is an adjective. There can be two almost similar meaning of diligent. First one, any work that we do with a lot of care and consideration and maintain that perfection level, so that is a diligent work. We can also call a person as a diligent person who does any work with utmost care and concern, with a lot of consideration, and maintains that perfection level. So that person is a diligent person. For example, it was diligent research work done by him. That means a research work that a person did, he did it with utmost care and consideration, and that made his work a diligent research work. Another example, they need a diligent person for this post. So there must be a post in an organization for which they require a person who is diligent. That means a person who maintains that perfection level and does all the work with a lot of care and consideration. Let's move to the next word quickly. Our next word is judicious, and it is an adjective. Well, judicious, or we call a person as judicious who shows a very sensible, wise, and a good judgment when they make any decision. They do not hurry. They take a lot of time. They evaluate all the pros and cons, and they are very sensible, when they are taking that decision, and their decisions are quite meaningful, and they of course give you a good result. Let's discuss some sentence. He is respected because of his judicious decisions. That means he has earned a lot of respect, only because his decisions were quite judicious. That means his decisions were quite sensible, and they were taken with a lot of consideration, and he was being wise in taking those decisions. He demonstrated his wisdom when he took those decisions. Another sentence, there should be judicious use of all our resources. That means when we are using our resources, we really need to show some consideration. We really need to show our good judgment ability to use those resources so that we don't exhaust them completely and don't misuse them as well. So let's go to the next word quickly. The next adjective that we are going to discuss is modest, and I have divided the meaning of modest into two parts. The first meaning is, we call a person as a modest person who is quite humble and does not talk big about himself or herself. The second meaning of modest means anything which is limited in quantity, not too much high in price, amount, or in size. Let's have two sentences to understand the usage. The first one, my friend is a modest person. That means my friend is a very humble, down-to-earth person who does not believe in talking big things about himself. So we can call that kind of person as a modest person. Second example, the organization gave a modest increment to its employees. That means the organization did not give a very big, huge increments to its employees. Rather, it gave a very substantial, very limited, meager increment to its employees. Let's move to the next word. Our last word, but nowhere least, is precious. Yes, precious too is an adjective. So what's the meaning of precious? Precious means something of great value, price, or importance. For example, her wedding dress was precious to her. So her wedding dress, it may not be very expensive in terms of money, but it is very precious. It has great importance of value because that was the dress, she wore when she got married. Another sentence, he likes to wear precious stones like ruby or emerald. That means he prefers to wear expensive stones, stones which are very costly like rubies and emeralds. I hope you like this vocabulary lesson of mine. Do let me know how you feel about it. If you have any comments or suggestions that you would like to share, do write to me in the suggestion box, or you can also email it to me. I have mentioned my email address at the description box. I'll be eagerly waiting to know your feedback, comments, and suggestions. Thank you so much.